What if everything you were taught was a lie? What if the very foundation of your understanding, the shape of the world itself, was built on a carefully crafted illusion? Imagine the familiar blue marble, the spinning globe you saw in every classroom, slowly flattening before your eyes, transforming into something entirely different from what you've always believed. The continents stretch outward. The oceans settle into a vast, level expanse that seems to go on forever. The world you thought you knew begins to look unfamiliar, almost alien. This isn't just wild fantasy, it's a possibility that more and more people are daring to consider, challenging the mainstream narrative and questioning the evidence they've been shown. They claim humanity has been fed a carefully constructed deception for centuries, with history rewritten and inconvenient truths hidden away. Governments, scientific institutions, and shadowy elites have allegedly convinced us we live on a spinning sphere, using their authority to silence dissent and ridicule doubters. The globe model, they say, is the linchpin of a much larger system of control, one that shapes not just our geography, but our sense of place in the universe. We're shown globes, told stories of brave explorers, and see dazzling images from space. Are these undeniable proofs, or just carefully chosen props in a grand illusion? To question the very shape of our world is to question authority itself, to challenge the pillars of science, education, and government. If Earth isn't a spinning ball, the entire model of our cosmos collapses. Gravity, space, other planets all called into doubt. The implications are staggering, rippling through every branch of science. The purpose, to make us feel small and insignificant, lost in a vast, indifferent universe, powerless to change our fate. A flat, stationary Earth suggests a contained, purposeful creation, placing humanity at the center of existence, watched over and significant. The journey to uncover this alleged truth is perilous, requiring courage to set aside a lifetime of conditioning, to face ridicule, and to question everything you thought you knew. The first step, admit we might have been profoundly wrong. Only then can we begin to see with new eyes, and from there a new world of possibilities opens, waiting to be explored. In 2019, a small independent research team working far from the spotlight set out on a mission that would challenge the very foundation of accepted science. Their goal was simple, yet audacious: to verify Earth's curvature using advanced laser technology, conducting their experiment over a vast, still body of water under the cover of darkness. The mainstream scientific community dismissed their efforts as fringe, but the team pressed on, meticulously calibrating their instruments and double-checking every variable to ensure accuracy. On a perfectly clear night, with conditions ideal for measurement, they fired a powerful laser across several miles of calm water, aiming for a distant target. According to the globe model, the laser beam should have dipped below the horizon, hidden by the planet's curvature and impossible to detect at the far end. But to their astonishment, the beam arrived at its target, perfectly level, again and again. No measurable curvature, no deviation, just a straight line of light defying expectations. As they reviewed their data, the team noticed something odd. Strange, encrypted signal interference that seemed to disrupt their measurements at key moments. Tracing the source, they discovered the interference was being bounced off a high-altitude research balloon, not a satellite as they had initially assumed. The very tools used to prove the globe's satellites and their data streams were now suspect, possibly part of a much larger deception than anyone had imagined. Realizing the potential danger of their discovery, the team quickly vanished from public view, leaking their findings anonymously to avoid retaliation. Their data spread rapidly through online communities, igniting fierce debate and drawing the attention of skeptics, believers, and curious minds worldwide. For the first time in decades, there was modern empirical data that directly challenged the official narrative, forcing people to reconsider what they thought they knew. The 2019 revelation wasn't just about a failed curvature test. It exposed a sophisticated technological system of surveillance, manipulation, and deception operating in the shadows. A crack had appeared in the official narrative, a fissure that threatened to widen as more people began to question the story they'd always been told. The world was forced to confront uncomfortable questions, and the sense of unease spread across continents. The search for truth intensified as investigators, journalists, and ordinary citizens alike began digging deeper, determined to uncover what lay beneath the surface. If satellites aren't what we think, if the images we see are carefully curated and the technology is not as advanced as we're led to believe, how do we explain GPS, global communications, and the seamless connectivity we experience every day? The theory goes deeper. Satellites, as we know them, are actually high-altitude balloons or advanced drones, sometimes called stratolites, hovering in the upper atmosphere, quietly relaying signals and gathering data. This would explain the patchy coverage in remote areas, the constant need for new ground-based towers, and the push for lower-altitude networks like 5G and LEO constellations. In this alternative model, the Sun and Moon aren't massive celestial bodies millions of miles away, but small, local spotlights circling above the flat Earth, illuminating only certain regions at a time. Day and night, then, are not caused by a spinning globe, but by the Sun and Moon's circular paths over the disk, creating shifting zones of light and darkness as they move. Gravity in this worldview is reimagined. Instead of an invisible force pulling us toward a center, the flat Earth itself accelerates upward at 9.8 meters per second squared, creating the sensation of weight. Like standing in an elevator that's constantly rising, you feel pressed to the floor, not by gravity but by the Earth's relentless upward motion, keeping everything grounded. The stars, too, are reinterpreted, not distant suns scattered across a vast universe, but fixed lights embedded within a solid dome arching over the world, unmoving and eternal. Space agencies in this narrative become actors in a grand theatre, orchestrating elaborate missions and perpetuating the myth of a globe and limitless space travel. Rockets, according to believers, never truly escape. They arc back down, and the images we see are often artistic renderings or digital fabrications. The real mission is to guard the secret, not to explore the stars. This alternative cosmology reframes our entire existence, challenging the very foundation of what we've been taught about our place in the universe. Instead of a cold, infinite void, it offers a structured, enclosed environment, an Earth protected and contained beneath a vast, impenetrable dome. The world becomes a stage, with every detail carefully managed, and we are kept from seeing what lies behind the curtain of official narratives. The illusion is maintained by those who control the narrative, shaping our perceptions and guiding what we believe to be true. But for those willing to question, the clues hidden in plain sight are everywhere, waiting to be discovered by the curious and the bold. All it takes is the courage to look, to peel back the layers and to see the world with new eyes. At the edge of our world lies Antarctica, the most mysterious, heavily guarded place on Earth. In the flat Earth model, it's not a continent, but a colossal ice wall encircling the known world. This frozen barrier holds in our oceans and marks the boundary of our realm. The Antarctic Treaty restricts independent travel, supposedly to protect the environment. But what if its true purpose is to guard the secret of the ice wall? Early explorers described endless ice cliffs and supernatural weather, as if designed to repel intruders. Admiral Richard E. Byrd spoke cryptically of land beyond the pole. His discovery is quickly classified. Antarctica is one of the most militarized zones on the planet. Why guard a barren land of ice so fiercely? The logical conclusion: they're guarding a boundary, not just ice. The ice wall is not the bottom of the world, it's the gateway to the unknown. What lies beyond remains the greatest secret of all, and the world is not allowed to see. If Antarctica is an ice wall, what lies beyond it? The theory suggests entire continents, hidden lands, exist outside our known world. These outer continents could be rich in resources and teeming with life. Myths of Asgard or Hyperborea may be distorted memories of these places. The global elite, it's said, control access to this bounty, keeping us fighting over scraps. Resource scarcity, energy crises and wars could be manufactured distractions. These lands might be home to unique flora, fauna and even mythical creatures. Ancient explorers may have glimpsed these worlds, returning with tales of wonders. The real frontier isn't space, but across the ice. Admiral Byrd may have seen the edge of a new continent, his story buried. The whispers of lost continents call to those who dare to seek. The greatest adventure may lie just beyond the frozen horizon. Some theories go further. These outer continents are inhabited by advanced civilizations. Descendants of Atlantis or Lemuria, or perhaps non-human beings, may watch us from beyond the ice. These guardians possess technology and wisdom far beyond our own. The ice wall isn't just a prison for us, it's a quarantine for them. UFOs might not be extraterrestrial, but vehicles from these hidden realms. They monitor our progress, remaining unseen. Their existence would shatter every belief system on Earth. The global elite, it's said, protect this secret, maintaining the globe lie to prevent chaos. We may be living in a small, cordoned-off section of a much larger populated world. The truth, if revealed, would change everything. The question is, are we ready to know, or will the secret remain just out of reach? How does the flat Earth model explain seasons, oceans, and GPS? Seasons result from the sun's path changing. Smaller circles in summer, wider in winter. The Antarctic ice wall contains the oceans like water in a bowl. No edge to fall off, just an insurmountable frozen barrier. Water finds its level, not held by gravity, but by containment. GPS works via ground-based towers and high-altitude balloons, not satellites. This explains spotty coverage in remote areas. Time zones result from the local sun moving across the sky. The Coriolis effect is attributed to electromagnetic forces or fluid dynamics on a flat plane. Every aspect of our world can be reinterpreted through this lens. The model is radically different, but internally consistent. It challenges us to see the world anew. The journey into this forbidden knowledge begins with disbelief. The idea of a flat Earth seems absurd until a seed of doubt is planted. Why can we see things that should be hidden by curvature? Why do NASA images look like composites? Curiosity grows. You research, watch documentaries, and examine evidence. Each new fact makes the official story seem less certain. The world you knew starts to feel like an illusion. Then comes the shock of realization. A flat, enclosed world makes more intuitive sense. The sense of betrayal is immense. You question everything. But soon, awakening and empowerment follow. You join a community of truth seekers, sharing knowledge and purpose. The world becomes a place of mystery and hidden truths. This is not an end, but a beginning. The quest to explore reality and challenge authority never stops. The journey transforms you, and the search for truth becomes your new reality. We stand at a crossroads, accept the spinning globe, or explore a flat plane of infinite possibility. The flat Earth theory is more than contrarian. It's a statement about truth and control. It suggests our world is grander and more mysterious than we've been told. The conclusion isn't that Earth is definitively flat, but that we must never stop questioning. The powers that be rely on our complacency. If there's even a chance of a secret this big, we must investigate. The quest for truth drives every great discovery. What if the lands beyond the ice wall are just the beginning? The journey of discovery is outward, not upward. The promise, an endless world waiting for those brave enough to challenge boundaries. Look at the world with new eyes. Question, demand proof, and share your discoveries. The next great revelation won't come from a space agency. It will come from ordinary people daring to ask forbidden questions. The conversation has just begun. Your voice matters.